Hello, I'm Julie Andrews, and very happy to be here today. And I'm sitting with my daughter, Emma Walton Hamilton, who has co-authored my latest memoir. I want to take it from there, darling.
Well, I'm the lucky girl who gets to call her mom, and the book is Homework, a memoir of my Hollywood years, the my, of course, being her Hollywood years.
I wrote a memoir about 10 years ago. It was published, called Home, and this is homework, based on knowing nothing about how to make a movie and going out to Hollywood, courtesy of the wonderful Walt Disney, to make Mary Poppins, and what I learned and what the work was like and what making a movie was like after having only done theatre for so many years. I hope it will be interesting to audiences. I think the truth about how much hard work it is, and really the behind-the-scenes feeling of Hollywood, or theatre too, but Hollywood especially, is not just red carpets and glamour and tiaras and beautiful gowns. The work and the craft behind it on a host of people's parts is huge. You cannot imagine what great cameraman, great makeup and hair artists and designers and set builders, so much of it contributes to the making of a movie. And then the camera work and the different lenses that you use and what it's like. I just felt it would be interesting to convey all that. Ask a lot of questions, refer back to other things that I might have done. Then when in doubt, open your mouth and just say the words.
Well, also, I would say, when in doubt, take a break.
Yes.
Quite often, if we ever get stuck on something that we're writing,
We'll make a cup of tea.
We'll take a bathroom break. We'll make a cup of tea. We'll take a walk. Take a shower. Just something.
And ideas just
and the answer
pop
comes
into your head, funnily enough. The success is just an after. Hopefully, films are a success. You certainly don't set out to make a flop, but you never know. And it's the doing that is the thing that matters. I really mean that. It is the giving and the finding and the presenting, and you just hope that people will love it. The success is just the icing on the cake, if you're lucky.
For me, I think it's to have learned something from the process.
When in doubt, stand still. It's a little bit like if you think about a moth at a lamp that just flutters and flutters and flutters. If the lamp is also fluttering around in a tizzy, then nobody gets to sort of make any decisions. But eventually the moth, if the lamp stands still, the moth will eventually subside and the panic will be reduced enormously. When in doubt, stand still.
By staying curious.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Learning.
We're both just very inherently curious people, and so by continually staying curious, reading books.
Can't imagine not being.
Yeah, watching documentaries, reading books, learning.
There's always another door to open, always something else to learn. It's a wonderful life in that sense. Well, giants, mentors, people that have helped guide me along the way, and the fact that they did, I don't know how to thank people enough.
Don't worry, it's all going to make sense eventually.
Yeah, nothing is wasted.
Nothing is wasted, exactly. I've reinvented myself so many times over the years in terms of at first being in theater.
I remember being in vaudeville in my youth and thinking, am I going to go on touring endlessly around the music halls in England, which was a very tacky kind of existence in those days, just after the war.
But it stood you in such good stead
I
eventually.
had no idea how useful that work was.
Eventually everything comes together and dovetails.
Yeah, it does. Funnily enough, I think I would have... My father was a nature man and loved the country and knew every tree that came across his view, and I think I would have been something like a botanist, or, I mean, at the very least, I could have been well, I was a flower girl in My Fair Lady, but maybe a florist, but certainly a botanist would have been great fun. Oh, it's very successful. It's got a thriving industry in growing pears that are very special, and lace, which is woven by the nuns in Genovia. And I think it's probably continuing all the great traditions, and it's in good hands right now with Anne Hathaway.
Thanks for asking. And well, we have a couple of more children's books to write, and we're also starting a children's lit podcast in the spring with American Public Media, the details of which will be announced in the spring.
Just lots of exciting things to contemplate and write about, and oh my, it's a very interesting life.